CeeQ.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the CeeQ channel. For those who are returning, it's nice to have you back. For those who are new, you're welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
So as you may have guessed, I was born and bred in a little country in Africa.
Where exactly?
No, I'm not going to tell you where just yet. Love my privacy.
Don't be emotional. Don't be emotional. Do you need 2 minutes counsel?
I had the chance to attend an American college for my undergraduate education, and one of the things that struck me the most was how conscious I became of my accent.
The accent.
The accent?
Sometimes when I spoke, I had to repeat myself because they couldn't hear me.
Why? Why?
And I guess this is true of any society that isn't familiar with the way other people speak. I don't blame them, but it was a bit frustrating sometimes. So if you are an international student with a fairly different accent, you should be prepared to repeat yourself sometimes. When I was talking to my mates and they didn't hear me, they would say, "Huh?
Huh?
It's unbelievable."
What a shock. It sounded so rude, but I figured that it's a thing, just on the more informal side.
We're just experiencing a little bit of culture shock.
I probably sounded so polished when I said pardon.
Pardon?
Posh people.
At a point, I started to feel a bit insecure about my accent. I guess this ultimately stems from the idea that certain accents from the West have just become more desirable and even respected in many parts of the world.
I love your accents. England, right?
If you come to my country and start speaking with a British or American accent, people will generally treat you like royalty.
Your Majesty.
Over the years, most of the biggest movies and songs have come from the Western world, so many people are somewhat familiar with the Western cultures. The downside is that they are not as familiar with ours. Because of the insecurity, sometimes I would also feel shy to ask a question or make a contribution during lecture. But several times there were other international students like me in the class who were bold enough to speak up in class, regardless of their thicker foreign accents. They actually encouraged me to be bold too. It's a work in progress though. I also noticed that a lot of international students just ended up imitating the American accent to deal with one or more of the things I have highlighted. I tried, believe me, but man. I cringe so hard when I try to copy the accent.
Problematically, we find it a strain because of Nana Kufa's generalizing the system as what we think about it.
Yes, I can do it for fun, but not when I am having a conversation with someone.
Ooh, my goodness.
So based on what I have observed, when this accent thing is an issue for people, they try to be intentional about the clarity of their words when speaking with their natural accents. On the other hand, they try hard to imitate the American accent when talking to people from there. Whatever you decide to do, I encourage you to deal with the roots of any insecurity you may have with your accent or your culture or background.